Apparently, nothing flowed through to the plants. This was a huge error on my part. Most likely, I'm going to get fired or something. I was even thinking of drafting out this resignation letter. Hi, I'm Roopesh, a Senior Director at Procter Gamble. I've been working for P&G for 15 years now in the product supply function. I'm currently the head of demand planning for our Asia Pacific, Middle East and Africa markets. I graduated with a bioengineering degree from NUS. I'm a huge anime otaku, so as I was watching some of these animes, I used to see this P&G logo flash up. I did a bit of check and I realized that they actually owned multi-billion-dollar brands like Pampers, Tide, Ariel. So I decided to apply. And there were many rounds of interviews and I managed to get through them because I was drawing from my experiences from my national service days. We had a lot of opportunities to go overseas, work in team, lead teams to solve problems. So I was able to draw from the skills acquired there to get through the interviews. During the internship proper, I realized pretty much straight away that this was a right fit for me. I was connecting with P&G employees from around the world. It was a shock that they were actually giving me time and treating me like a full-time employee, right? Long story short, I successfully completed the internship and here we are 15 years later. How I felt when P&G offered me the full-time role was delight. Because if you could give an intern an 8-week project and then implement his or her solution, right? I realized that the company trusted its processes and systems enough that they will actually give me meaningful work to do. So I started out when I was a junior manager planning for the laundry unit. Then I moved on to a more global supply chain role in Gillette. I became a senior director overseeing the order-to-cash processes. Product supply is pretty vast, and part of the reason why job rotation is so important is you really need to connect the dots from our suppliers to the customer. In order to make the right decisions, you need to have enough background knowledge. So that's exactly why you need to always be doing different roles every 2 to 3 years, trying your best to diversify, and passion plays a big part. So all the roles that I have done, I have been very passionate about, and that's where I get my maximum learning. Right after this order-to-cash role, I basically moved into the markets. So I was handling Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam. And then I actually moved overseas and I was posted to the Philippines for 2 years, where I was doing demand and supply planning for the market. When I went to the Philippines, it was with my family, but just a couple of months in, bittersweet news, right? My wife got promoted, which was great for us as a family, but then the role required her to go back to Singapore. So we took the difficult decision that she will take the kids and go back. And I would continue to stay on in the Philippines. We would do a split arrangement and then I would travel back and forth. Has everything been smooth sailing? For sure, no. It starts out with a big challenge in the first 5 to 6 months. I remember one incident where I had to upload a forecast and I think I made an error. So apparently nothing flowed through to the plants. And then I realized to my utter panic, right, that most likely, I'm going to get fired or something. This was a huge error on my part. I was even thinking of drafting out this resignation letter or something like that. Luckily, I reached out to my direct manager and he told me it doesn't matter because obviously there are fail-safes in place and you learn. I can't stress enough the importance of the mentoring culture.
I wanted to explore something more out of HR.
Why are you considering out of HR and any specific function? For example, now I pass it on and I'm a mentor as well to a lot of our young talent. Tips that I can give to young Singaporeans will be stay very, very hungry, stay very, very humble. There's always something to learn. I don't think these are traits that apply to just FMCG. I think it applies to life, right? Life is short. So don't do something that you don't like.